pastor's newsletter. I got my picture in the lobby of a church.
Look at that. A little bit of everything. So what's going on, Ed? Why don't you tell us your full name?
Edward Dudley Burles.
Edward Dudley?
Dudley.
Edward Dudley. So what other names do you go by, Ed?
That's it.
Just Ed? Edward?
Actually, Eddie. I don't...
Ed and Eddie. Alright, so where'd you grow up?
I was born in Virginia, Norfolk for you Yankees. Then I moved from there to here, Maryland. From Maryland, I went from here to South Acton, Massachusetts. When I graduated high school. Acton Boxborough Regional High School, South Acton, Massachusetts. Which is my home of record, even though I didn't know anybody who lived there. It was my home of record the whole time I was in the Air Force. And for 12 years I was in the Air Force, and I never knew anybody who lived in the house. But it was my home of record. And I had to pay Massachusetts state taxes. I think Maryland's taxed. Yeah.
So you grew up in Virginia?
No, I grew up, I went to born to 5th grade in Virginia. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, I went to grade school in Baltimore. And then high school in Baltimore. And then to senior year. And then I moved to Massachusetts and graduated in Massachusetts. Then I went to college, 2 different colleges. Then I went to the Air Force.
So Ed, you've been all over.
Oh yeah, I've been to, let me see, states-wise, Virginia, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Nevada, California. Country-wise, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, the Philippines. What else? Cambodia, Thailand. Yeah, that's it.
A little bit everywhere.
Yeah, good for you.
So Ed, what was your childhood like?
Normal. Better than most people's is today. I mean, I had a middle-class family, and then upper middle-class family. And then I left there when I was in, right after high school. Actually, my first 2 attempts at college. When I left for the Air Force in '70, I never went back.
So Ed, you didn't have any domestic abuse problems or anything like that in your family?
No.
Or your parents didn't have any drinking problems or drug problems?
No. They were I was born in 1950. We didn't have that kind of stuff.
They didn't have that stuff that's out here now, right?
No, and they didn't do that.
So,
my parents drank at parties and stuff, that was it.
So Ed, did you enjoy school? Did you enjoy high school, college?
I hated school. If you could get me interested in a subject, I was good at it. I would pay attention to it. But if you couldn't, I had no use for it. I like history.
Why'd you like history?
I don't know. It just interested me. And it wasn't like I had really good history teachers either. My history teacher at Calvert Hall was the lacrosse coach. And he was, he was an All-American lacrosse player. Jerry Schmidt. Played for Hopkins. Good guy.
So Ed, what did you do in your later years? I know you said you were in the military, so what did you do for a job most of your life?
Well, I was in the military until 1982, so from 70 to 82 in there. After that, I just kept trying different jobs. So I would see if I could find one that I enjoy going to work. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, it did not happen. I worked with painting, landscaping, auto mechanics.
Gas station?
Huh?
Gas station?
Yeah, gas station. That was when after running my own little airline, running passenger airlift for the Air Force, for the Pacific region, I came back, applied for a job at a Crown station. The guy goes, "What real job have you ever had?" I said, "I used to be able to send a message and ask for $500,000 and get it the next day." I said, "I could buy and sell your gas station." All I want is a job, buddy. I don't want to be in charge of anything. I just want a job.
That's right. So Ed, tell me, what's the best thing about being homeless?
Nothing.
The fact that there's nobody, you don't have to put up with anything from anybody. You can just walk off. And you can tell anybody what you think. Because it really doesn't make any difference to me whether they like me or not. I mean, it's better if they do, but, if they don't. That guy in the Air Force, one of my supervisors told me, he says, don't worry about people think about you. I said, if you knew how little they thought about you, or in reality, any day of the week, you wouldn't care what they thought. Because they don't think about you. And most people need somebody that they need to feel better than so that they can feel good about themselves.
Amen. So, Ed, what's the worst thing about being homeless?
Not having anybody really. Not having anybody that, I mean, I've had people I care about, but, I mean, not having anybody, But then again, from being in the Air Force, the longest I was in, average-wise, I was ever in anywhere up to 12 years was 18 months. So after 18 months, every 18 months you move. So it's not like you really ever had anybody.
What else? Is there any other bad things or good things about being homeless?
Well, it gets cold sometimes. But from the military, once again, since you have to work, no matter what the weather is, rain, hail, sleet, snow, whatever, freezing, damn cold, you just learn to deal with it.
That's right. So, Ed, wrapping this up, is there anything else you want to say? Anything else that you would... Is there anything that you would like to say to people that aren't homeless? Is there anything you'd like to say to people who aren't homeless?
Stop pretending and stop being hypocrites. Everybody thinks you're better than you. And I got news for them. It's like people talk to me sometimes like I'm an idiot. And I'm like, look, I've been in more countries than you've been to states. Don't tell me where life is. I don't want to hear that crap. You have no clue. It's like people who complain about being poor here. I'm like, you're rich. I mean, comparatively, you're rich. You're not poor. You have less money than some people have, but you're not poor. You're not starving. I don't see no swollen bellies on you. You're not dying of hunger. And if you want to, and the thing of it is a lot of the thing about homeless people, because homeless people use people all the time. I know people from the centers down in Howard County and the centers here. They come in and get stuff and then they go out and sell it. If you don't need it, don't take it. And don't fall in love with it, because if you don't have it, you won't die. It's just more inconvenient.
Well, Ed, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to me today.
It's not a problem. It's never a problem.